April 15th, 2013. 2 bombs are detonated near the finish line of the Boston Marathon. 3 people are killed. Scores are injured.
In some ways, it was the grace of the people of Boston and Massachusetts that was the most transcendent thing. It wasn't the evil standing alone. It was the way both professional first responders and ordinary citizens rushed into danger. Frankly, right after the first explosion, not knowing whether it was over.
Local and federal first responders spring into action. The wounded are moved out of harm's way. An unprecedented manhunt begins to find those responsible.
The loss of life is terrible. You're slightly overwhelmed by what you see. But I was also overcome by a significant responsibility and sense of duty that we needed to do some important work. We needed to get as many people to the hospital as quickly as possible. But beyond that, we needed to secure the crime scene and do everything that we could do to pursue these individuals and hold them accountable for what they did.
Well, when I first arrived at the Westin, right after the 2 bombs had gone off and people were convening, all the emergency responders, all the leadership, it was great to have all those resources, and everybody wanted to do something.
The 5-day manhunt leaves 1 officer dead, another wounded. The remaining suspect is taken into custody. Officials and citizens alike finally breathe a sigh of relief. But for those injured, the nightmare is far from over.
The process of recovery is really twofold. Healing the physical wounds is much simpler than healing the psychological wounds. I was certainly tired after finishing the marathon. I didn't know what to expect when I got to the hospital. I just knew that something felt awry. I had no idea that it was a bombing. Boston, being a center for academic and medical excellence, allowed all the casualties to be spread out over a variety of centers, including ours. And essentially that allowed every patient to get the care they probably would have gotten had they arrived singularly not related to a bombing incident.
In the face of this act of terrorism, Boston prevails as a city stronger than ever.
I appreciate and I love the modesty of first responders who say and believe rightly that they were doing their job. But the rest of us need to appreciate that their job is a pretty heroic thing. I've said it a lot of times, but I don't think I can say it enough. I want to say thank you.
The responsibility to recognize the first responders who were there that day is really important. Mr. Knight and the 100 Club do this every year, but this year we stand shoulder to shoulder with them and really take our hats off. These men and women are some of the best I've ever had a chance to work with.
As a governor, I'd say the thing that strikes me most as I reflect on the experiences was just how good a team this is, how together, how they work with each other. As a citizen, I'm proud to live here. I'm proud to be associated with the people of this city and this Commonwealth. I don't know how else to put it than that. I'm really, really glad to see the goodness I know is there on display.